It's you versus you. Nobody is coming to save you. You can make your dreams become a reality, or you can watch someone else achieve them, whilst you continue to play the victim. Those who build their physique don't have more hours in the day, they simply just understand leverage. It's very easy to just presume that everyone who's achieved things that you want to achieve, they've just had it easy the whole time, and they've not had to go through what you have. However, 99.9% of the time, they've gone through what you've gone through, if not worse. And the main reason behind me doing this video today isn't to show you, wow, look what I've done. I've gone from here to here. It's to show you that you're probably going through some of the same phases I've been through, and you'll relate to that. So I just kind of want to show you that you are on the right track, or if you feel like you're not, we can get you back on that right track, because honestly, anything is possible. If anything, the people who've got the worst situations push the hardest and get the best results. So if you look at me here, we've got a picture on the left. I was about 18 on the left there. In the middle, top middle, 15, 16. I just finished high school at that point, going into college. I was like 70 kg wet through. Here, similar age, bit skinny fat. And then we've also got a picture of me on the right, about 18 again, just probably a little bit before that picture on the left. And I was just an average guy. And within 4 years, 5 years, from 18 to 23, I just went all out. I was relentless. I hit a pain line where I hated where I was so much, I changed. Now, people say they want to change, but I don't think they want to change. And they don't. If they're not doing anything about it, they don't want it. They think they want to change, but they want to change for like 2 minutes of the week, not every minute of the week. I was in a position where every minute of the week I needed to change. It was a must. So I went all out, and I'm going to run you through everything I did to get from here to here by the time I was 23, okay? And honestly, that literally changed my life. So 15 years old, 70 kg. I was the lankiest lamppost you have ever seen. I was told I didn't have the body type to build muscle by everybody. People in school, teachers, family, friends. I was just a skinny kid. I shot up to about 6'4". At 15, everyone says being tall is a good thing. It is not a good thing when you're 15. It's good now. I appreciate the height genetics now. But it's a grind when you're young, and it was hard. I was just skinny, but I was skinny as in I didn't have the muscle, but I still had body fat. So I was like, everyone would be like, oh, you got a belly. But at the same time, I had no muscle. So it weren't cool. It weren't like I was big. But I was looking at everyone else and I was like, fuck, like some of the older kids in school or in college or uni or social media when that started coming about. And I was like, how are all these guys in this shape? Surely it's not just my body type. And I'm a very, very stubborn person. If someone tells me I can't do something, I'm gonna do everything in my power to do that. So it's probably a blessing, all of the lanky statements and, being hit on about my body all the time as a kid. It was probably the biggest blessing ever. So in high school, in year 11, year 10, year 11, I'd go to this school gym once a week, maybe here and there. And that was my introduction into it. And that just came from a pain point of, I hated how I looked and I was being called out on it as well. And I think, honestly, it's a good thing. I think all of the talk about you don't have the body type is a load of bullshit, but if someone says you're skinny, someone says you're fat, maybe listen, I think it's a good thing. I think people in your close circle should call you out on it. I know me with my close lad mates now, it seemed awful back then at the time, but me and my close lad mates now, if I think that they're losing, the potential and they're letting themselves go, I'll tell them and they'll tell me, they'll call me out on it. And I think you need that. So sometimes, haters out there, ignore it. But if it's your close circle and they've got your best interest at heart, maybe it's worth listening to. So started the gym once a week and I was just simply eating as much food as possible in the school canteen. I was obsessed with just getting weight on. Obviously, I just thought you eat as much as possible to gain muscle, even though I was technically still fat. I was skinny, I had no muscle, but I had body fat. So what I was actually doing was just accumulating a lot of body fat. I had no structure, not much training. it was just all over the place. But I was a 15-year-old kid, what can you expect? These days, there's a lot more information out there for the younger guys. 18 years old was kind of my next transition into taking it up a step. So basically, working as an engineer in a family business, stuck in the rat race mindset completely, wanted to escape. So I was literally waking up 4 or 5 a.m., going to work, getting home from work 7, 8 p.m. at night, going to the gym afterwards, started including that into my routine. And I was also playing a lot of golf at the time. I used to want to be a pro golfer. So I was at the driving range on weekends when I had time. I also had a coach, and there was a lot of strength and conditioning work for that at the time as well. That weren't around building muscle, but what I did start to see were some aesthetic changes. And this was a big turning point for me. At 18 was the time I realized, no, I don't want to be a golfer. I don't want to be an engineer. I don't want to be a golfer. I want to just feel good by working on me. It's not about the money you can earn in golf. It's not about the comfort of having an engineering job where you're employed and life's easy, because it's not. Like, I was earning 20K a year as an engineer, grinding 80 hours a week with golf on top, with some gym on top. And that was the norm. That was the comfort. That was the thing to do. It's a safe job to have and you can progress through it. But I knew I didn't want that. Comfort wasn't going to give me fulfillment. In fact, it was going to give me the complete opposite. The golf route could have given me money, but I also knew that I'd have been in a body that I didn't really like. And I knew the only way to make myself fulfilled was to be in the body I wanted to be in and just becoming the best version of myself in all areas. So when I started seeing those aesthetical changes, that was it for me. I was inspired by a lot of people on social media, a lot of the big names, about their lifestyle, their physique. And I was like, no, I want to feel that good. I want to look that good, because then I know when I look that good, I'm going to have confidence and I'm going to excel. Fitness before business every day. Like, I'm not just going to become this huge business guy if I don't feel good in myself. You've got to build the habits. You've got to become the guy, and everything else will just follow. So for me, it all started with write down my goals with my physique. And I also had a goal at this point that one day I would want to be a PT. I didn't know when, how, what I was going to do, but I knew I wanted my life to be basically evolved around being in great shape and being in the fitness industry. So I knew I had to take action on it. If you're going to be in the industry, you've got to practice what you preach. You've got to know what you talk about. So 18 was the year I set my goals, and I really knew it was what I wanted to do, but I wasn't really taking any action on it at this point. It was just an idea and a goal. 19, gained a lot of body fat. COVID came. Fucker. So during the lockdown, I was in a relationship, very comfortable. Comfort is the killer. Good enough is the death of all dreams, having that mindset. I was in a comfy relationship, let myself go. The last time I would ever do that. And it was a combination of that and lockdown. And I just realized during lockdown that I realized I'd got comfy. And I also realized that when I didn't have, because there was no social stuff, there was no downtime, there was no gym, all I was doing was work and then be back home in an evening. And I realized that I was like, I fucking hate life. All I can do is the shit I hate, which was work. I was like, why can't I do something that I want to do, which is work? And then the things I can do out of that, I want to do that I enjoy as well. So gym. So it's like, I want to be in the fitness industry. I want to enjoy my work so it doesn't feel like work. And I want to be in great shape. So the first thing I did, as soon as we came out of the first lockdown, was I paid for a PT. Literally paid all my wage. I was on, maybe 20K, or maybe like $1 and a bit grand a month after tax. And I was spending $400 on a PT every month. I just knew it was what I needed to do. I couldn't afford it, in all honesty. I could not afford it with all the other bills I had to pay, but I just went all out. But just because you get a PT does not mean you're gonna get in shape. PT is good for the introduction in, and I had him for PT and online, luckily, because the online stuff's the programming, that's what's gonna get you the results. The PT is just the guidance through a session. And I turned up to my sessions, but I still weren't getting results. But that was my own fault. And it's an issue I see a lot of the time, you know, with others. And I went through that exact thing. And that was, you pay for a coach, but you still do your own thing. And for me, because I'd always been the skinny guy, even though I had body fat, I was obsessed with gaining weight. And I was told I need to diet. I need to recomp. I need to pull off body fat whilst increasing tissue, and then we can work back up. And in my head, I just couldn't commit to that. So I was put in a slight recomp nutrition plan, and I did it for like one day, and I saw the scale weight go down, and I went back to it at work. I was in my engineering job, driving around in the van, getting dirty in Tesco's, meal deals, Tesco sandwiches, 5 donuts, then bags from Tesco's and Sainsbury's, just anything I could do to get the food in. My skin was fucking horrendous. My energy levels were crashing. I had no motivation, but I was just thinking, right, I just need to do anything I can. If I eat everything I possibly can, and I train 4 times a week, maybe if I can get the time, I thought I'd get where I want to go. But all I was doing at that point at 19, yes, I was training, yes, I was eating food, but I was wasting time. Like if I was just more efficient with what I was doing, and I understood the leverage aspect, I'd have got a lot more out of it. And that was simply just because with the time I was investing, I weren't being as efficient as I could have been. 20 years old, okay? So as soon as I had that PT, within months, I was like, I need to do that. And I made a big ballsy decision to quit my job, do a PT qualification with like no money in the bank. I spent my last £1,000 on the PT qual, and it was looking bad from a money situation. And then effectively I went into a PT job straight away. And the whole time, like every night, I was just studying. I would finish work at 8, be up till 12 every night, and waking up at 4 for work. And I'd just be studying every single thing I could, so I could go into the industry, dominating from the start, or doing as well as I could from the start. But also learning for myself, you know? It's important to get yourself in shape as well as obviously your clients. So for me, it was just all about knowledge at that point. So I'm not gonna go too much into the business side. I wanna keep this more physique, but that was a huge turning point for me because everything I did was regarding investment into my education, in mentors, in courses. Every bit of income I had, people say, oh, you should invest 20% back into your self-development out of your income monthly. I was 90%. I was living on fuck all. Like I was, if anyone was like, do you want to do anything? No, I was poor. Even though I was spending money, and I was spending a lot of money, it was all going back into growth. Money is simply a tool to get better, right? Money is value, and if you want to acquire more value, you have to exchange money value for more value to come in, makes you more valuable. That's how you can start earning more money down the line, because you acquire more value. The only way to do that is by using money and time. All right, okay, so for me, this was the biggest turning point. When I committed to being a personal trainer, I committed to having to become an expert. And acquiring all that knowledge obviously helped me get my clients great results, but it also allowed me to start kicking in with my physique. So started taking my training, my nutrition a lot more seriously. I would say this is when my newbie gains actually started, in all honesty, because people think newbie gains is like when you just start the gym. It's not. Newbie gains is actually when you start optimizing. So when you put your nutrition in a really good spot, your training in a good spot, your self-development, your sleep, your recovery, and everything's optimized for you, that's when you're gonna start getting newbie gains. You could have been going to the gym 10 years, but if you're training like dog shit and you're eating like dog shit and it's not optimized, you are not gonna get your newbie gains. You might make a little bit, but your newbie gains only start the day everything is optimized. So if you've been going to the gym 3 years and you've not been working with a coach and had everything dialed in for you, your newbie gains are just around the corner, right? So don't think time is related to that. That's why I don't really like the question, how long have you been training? It's not relevant. I would prefer the question, how long have you been working with a coach and had everything optimized? That's more of a valuable question. So 21 to 22 years old. I'd been PTing for a while now and I was very busy, but I had a huge hiccup that not that many people know about, which for me is the biggest shaper of my physique, career, mindset so far. I do get a lot of people messaging me about, well, like, why is your mindset so like strong, straight talking, just getting shit done? And that comes down to something that happened to me when I was 21. And I've always been straight talking. I've always been, right, I need to figure this out. I'm gonna do this. I'm stubborn. I'm gonna get shit done. But this for me just fucking pulled it out and took me from 80% to 100. And like I said earlier, sometimes the most painful moments are what drive you forward. You know, if you're 500 meters away from the shop, you might walk. But when you're 10 miles away, you're gonna get in the car and you might drive there quicker because that pain to get there is bigger, and you're gonna just push through. So for me, this happened at 21. We had COVID. I was very anti-vaccine because again, I was very stubborn. I'm like, look, I'm a healthy guy, so I don't want a vaccine. But unfortunately, my mum was very ill at the time. So we all made a decision as a family to do the shielding, where you all vaccinate and, you know, it would all help protect her. So it was the right move to make. However, my body responded not well to the vaccine. And I actually, long story short, I could go into depth on this a lot, but I'm not gonna. I started getting a lot of symptoms coming about over a couple of months post the vaccine. And long story short, I was out of it, and I ended up in hospital for a few weeks, just like heart failure from what had happened. What happened were it had caused myocarditis in my heart, inflammation of the heart, and it just gets so fucking swollen and inflamed. And it weren't good. I got told at this point when I was in hospital, I'll be about 2 months not walking, 6 months before I do any form of exercise. And even then I could have possible like lifelong heart issues. So straight away for me, this was just brutal. I'd taken a path in life which was, for me, the only way I knew I would be fulfilled. And I think it is for every guy. It doesn't have to be getting into the fitness industry, but following a path which is just becoming the best version of yourself physically and mentally. And then I got told that I might not even be training. And especially even in the short term, 6 months off training. So this fucking broke me, I'll be straight. I had a couple of days where, again, I was feeling a little bit victim. I was thinking, fuck, how has this happened to me? You know, I'm the one that's practicing and preaching health and you know, doing everything right. But we looked into this at a later point, and it was actually impacting the healthier, younger males of the population more than anybody else, because they had a lower, healthier resting heart rate. So with the swelling on the heart, when you got a lower resting heart rate, you're not getting as much blood and oxygen around the body. So I was pissed off. But again, stubborn Tom drove through and he thought, right, no. I've been in the industry a couple of years and I know there's a lot of excuses out there from people, you know. I've broke my finger, I need 6 weeks off, all this bullshit, right? So I thought, you know what? I'm gonna get back to it as quick as I can. A couple of weeks in hospital, and I actually demanded I left a week early. I was like, I'm off. I'm not staying in this shithole. I am fucking getting out, and I'm making shit happen. And I did fuck myself in the ass a little bit. After a month, I ended up back in hospital because I pushed a little bit hard too soon. But this was in November, December 2021. And from there, by the start of February, I made a call. I was like, no. I'm going to show people that even though I'm not going to be training right now, your mindset is the strongest asset you have. It can be a liability, but it can also be an asset, just depending on the mindset you get yourself in. If you play victim, it's your biggest liability. If you play, you know, hero status and you make shit happen, it's your biggest asset, and your mind controls your body. So I decided, stubborn Tom, I'm going to make shit happen. And I was like, I'm gonna go all out. I'd lost loads of muscle. I'd gained a lot of body fat. I'd not been training. I did the best I could. I tried to keep nutrition as optimal as possible, other than the time I was in hospital. Even then, I was getting people sending me good food in. And I was just doing everything I could. And I said, you know what? No, I'm gonna go from the worst position ever I could be in with health, physique, mindset, and I'm gonna flip this around and do a full photo shoot prep. And I went from here in February, did a month of gaining phase. So I went from about like 90 kg to 98 kg over a couple of months, and prepped that down. I think I was around 86 to 88 kg on my shoot, and I was about 5% body fat in ridiculous condition. And this was all still within the time frame in May, June, where they said you might start introducing back into training. I went full throttle and went fucking balls to the wall. And it was almost, I didn't even really vocalize it because I was getting taken off Instagram whenever I talked about this. So for me, it was just a thing from me to me, and a stubbornness like, look, there's people out there making bullshit excuses as to why they're not doing shit. I'm not going to be walking, and I'm going to get in the fucking best shape ever whilst working and not supposed to be working. I was working from 5 a.m. till 10 p.m. at this point. Work was extremely busy. I would train at 11 p.m. at night and then go to work in the morning, sometimes with clients at 4. And I was like, I'm gonna make this shit happen. I'm gonna prove to people. I think people think, oh, you know, you're a PT, you've got it easy. If you're a busy PT and you're a good PT or you're a good online coach, you have not much time. You're working unsociable hours. I was flat out. I was doing, 14 to 16 hour days. And I was like, I'm gonna make this happen. So again, I was like, look, I know what I'm doing, but I want to improve again. You can always improve. You're always a student as a coach. And if you were a student as a coach, you should be a student if you're not a coach. And I was like, right, I'm gonna get a new mentor for my life, for my business, for fitness, for knowledge, and a new physique coach, just to keep me accountable, really. Whenever you're accountable and someone's doing it, it means that you can put, I could put more of my time then into my own training and into my clients. You should always buy back your time. So that's what I did. At this point, I was spending $4K a month into my education and into my coaching. I went all out, possibly more in some months, to be fair. And I just went, all out on the business, all out with everything. Coach-wise, I don't know, £400 maybe. But this was all about leveling up and proving what I could do. I went from the darkest place ever to the best I'd ever felt. And even for me, I got into a position that I didn't even know was truly possible. I always dreamt about it, but I made it happen. And that was because my pain threshold was so high, I just drove through it. And I was like a monk. I was a fucking machine. People could throw cake in my face and I'd be like, get it the fuck out of my face, I don't want it. And sometimes you've got to go through pain to get to that point. So for me, 2021, at 21 years old, transitioning into, I think, the shoot, I was 22, I was 86 kg peeled. This for me was the biggest turning point. This is when I was like, I have a physique. I weren't big, but I had the proportions, I developed the aesthetics, I developed the conditioning, I'd gone through the brutal challenge of getting to 5% body fat. And this is where I learned the most about myself. And this is where everything took off for me. As soon as I did that photo shoot, as soon as I decided that nobody's gonna come and rescue me, no one gives a fuck if I've been ill, no one gives a fuck about anything, I'm gonna do it for me, and I've got full accountability. I could have said, no, I should be ill, I need to be a fucking pussy, I've got work, I start work at 4 or 5 a.m. and then I've got to work till 10, so I don't really have the time. Nah, I was like, this is fucking happening, and I'm gonna make it happen. So for me, biggest mindset shift was 21, 100%. And this all came down, and it was exaggerated from the pain of being told that I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do career-wise, but also from a physique standpoint. Now, here we are, 23 years old, filming this December 2023. And I've built what I thought would take me to 28, 29. Now, I still want to keep developing this physique. For me, now it's not as much about the size. I'm currently sitting at 111 kg, not as peeled as some of the pictures you may be seeing. I'm in a little gaining phase at the minute. Lean gaining phase, I never take body fat above 12 to 13%. And then ideally in gaining phase, that would be between 9 and 13%. If I want to get stupidly peeled, I'll take it down to 5. But I'm always 8 to 10 weeks away from being absolutely peeled. Now, for me now, it's just about the aesthetics. My gaining phases aren't just about serious mass everywhere. It's more about, right, this is where my proportions are at the minute, and this is what I want to do. Might be just bringing out a little bit more in my upper chest or a little bit more in the hamstrings. So that's where I am at the moment. Gained a lot of weight through a gaining phase, and for me, it's not about how aggressive you take a gaining phase, it's about getting your body in the best position. So me, when I did that shoot, effectively what I did were, I drove into a foundation. I'd built some tissue and I'd driven into condition. There I had a framework, I had a physique that looked like a physique. I had abs, I had obliques, I had a proportioned chest, shoulders. And then from there, when you've got the foundation, no body fat, you can just morph it up. So phase one is always drive into condition, get yourself in a responsive position, and then work up and grow the physique from there and look good the whole time whilst doing it. So my lifestyle at the minute, completely different. You know, from a physique standpoint, from a mindset standpoint, work is crazy. Obviously running multiple businesses in the physique, fitness, self-development space. Obviously I run Elect01, which is my brand. And within there, we've got the elite physique coaching, where I'm working with clients as well as coaches. And this is all about taking you from where you are now through the full roadmap to your full potential with your physique. So that's one of the businesses. We've also got the agency, which is where we're working with coaches looking to build and develop their coaching business. So some of those are going to be people who maybe existing clients who we're working with from a physique standpoint and they want to get into coaching and build a business. Some of those are already established coaches making 5 to 10K and now they want to take it and they want to build a business. But for me, it's not just about building a business and being a copy of everyone else in the industry. It's about building your business in a way that's going to allow you to create the lifestyle you want and actually give you the fulfillment, working with the clients you want, you know, working with the people who relate to you. Is really important. So it's allowing our clients in that to do that. And we've also got the Elect1 we've got the Elect1 University on the way, which for me is going to be absolutely unbelievable. It's all built out, it's ready to go. We're just waiting on a launch date. But this effectively has everything that I've ever learned, spending way over 100K through my career in mentors, in coaches, in online courses, from my own experience working with clients on my own physique, business, lifestyle. And this university is about building your physique, building your mindset, understanding high performance, understanding how to build your own lifestyle and personal brand and create a lifestyle for yourself. And that does all start with those principles. So we go hard in on everything there, and literally everything you could ever need is in there. I've basically built a university which, if I was me at 18 when I wrote those goals down with my physique, I wrote those goals down with my life. If I had that then, I would be where I wanted to be at 19. So I built a product that I would have wanted, and I honestly, like, I fucking wish there was something like that now. But, you know, it's coming. So the fact that I didn't have it has driven me to build that. So that's on the way. 3 businesses, 2 are currently active, 1 is about to launch very soon. But as you can imagine, obviously on top of that, we've then got the content. I'm a busy guy. Work for me starts at 4 a.m., alarm at 3:45, and I'm going to bed about 9 p.m. And that's just work solid. I have an hour and a half in there for recovery and study, where I'll go like ice bath, hot tub, daily study. So I'll have audio book on, or I'll be doing a course, or working with a mentor, etc. So I'm a busy guy, right? But that doesn't mean I don't work on my physique. I work on my physique more now and progress more now than I ever have working from 4 a.m. till 9 p.m. every single day, right? And that's just because I've understood leverage. So the busier I've got, the more I've had to leverage my time, the more I've had to get more efficient. So if I've only got 60 minutes to train, I'm gonna make damn sure I get everything out of that 60 minutes. You know, if I've got so much time to eat my meals, I'm gonna make sure that those meals are gonna move me forward at 100 miles an hour. And I am now progressing with my physique faster, tenfold than I ever have, simply just because I have to be disciplined. I'm so busy with work. I've got such big goals. I have to have everything optimized. So for me now, like despite being so busy, physique for me now is like in full flow. I'm in a gaining phase, building proportions day by day, seeing progress. And that's what's fulfilling. Honestly, I'm the happiest I've ever been. I always want to take it further. I'm satisfied, as in I'm happy with where I am, but I'm not settled. I know my potential's miles away. I honestly think, and this, I'm not saying this off like the size of my physique or the lifestyle, I'm not even 1% in. And as you progress with your physique and your lifestyle, you start to understand how much potential there is out there. So you guys back at home, like tap into that and understand that all these feelings of pain, frustration, feeling like you got no time, unsure on how to get there, I feel that. I've been there and I dug through those hard times, invested a lot. But I'm trying to make this as easy as possible for you now. We've got our physique coaching where we can take you directly to a physique if you just focus on the physique, because that will open up so many doors for you with your confidence, your lifestyle, your mindset. But then we've also got the university on the way. If you're someone that wants to get into the coaching business side of things, we've also got the agency and mentoring for that as well. But, you know, honestly, physique now, like I said, is in full flow. And I'm more fulfilled now because not just because I've built a physique, but I've helped now over thousands of clients build a physique and a lifestyle, and I've seen the impact that's had. So building, you know, yourself a physique's cool, and you can think, yeah, I'm good at this. But once you've helped thousands of people do the same thing, and I've not just seen it from a left and right transformation, I've actually seen this guy started with me. He was in construction and he was making £1,500 a month. And he made that decision I made to get a coach, just like I did, and he invested, and we've taken him from there, and now he's in the best shape ever. He's got confidence, he started his own business, and now he's living abroad, and he's earning over 10K a month. That to me is just like, I'm fulfilled now. I've done it for myself, and I've done it for thousands of other people, okay? And everyone's meaning behind getting in shape is gonna be different, but like honestly now, it's just about taking things to the next level. So I am here at 23, 111 kg. I'm gonna push up to about 118, which will be a bit uncomfy for me, to be fair. And then I'll dial it back. I think peeled, I'll be probably about 106 will be the goal. And yeah, at that point, I'll just be, again, just optimizing health, mental performance, and always improving the mindset. Every single day, every single month, I'm improving my physique, I'm improving my mindset, and improving my lifestyle. And I'm doing that by waking up with intent every day that I am gonna go into every training session with my nutrition, with my career, with my work. I'm gonna come out better in some way, more knowledgeable, or further ahead in my journey. And that all just comes from mindset. So guys, I hope you're taking a lot of value from this. I've had to keep this quite condensed. There's so many other things I could pull into this that I will talk about in other videos. But just remember, that little dweeb there that you're looking at right now, that was a handful of years ago. And right now, I don't feel the prettiest I've ever been because I'm nearly peak bulk phase. But, you know, back in summer here, my goal ultimately was, I don't want to be a bodybuilder necessarily. I don't want to be competing, but I want to have a physique where someone goes, yeah, he could be on stage if he wanted to. But for me, it was always about lifestyle physique, running a business that brings me fulfillment, helping people, giving value to people, operating like a machine, just feeling confident in everything I do. But also, I put this picture on here for one reason. You may be thinking, why is that on there regarding your physique? For me, it's about looking great, feeling great. If I've got my top off, people go, holy shit. But if I've got my clothes on, people don't go, what a fucking freak. He's just like a big ogre bodybuilder. I want to look lifestyle. I want to look good in my clothes. I want to like people to know I train, but I don't want to look like a freak in clothes. I want to look slick. I want to look minimal. I want to look good. I just want to look shaped, top heavy as in shoulders and chest, but nothing too much. So I'm very aesthetics and proportions driven. But guys, grind it out. If any of you have any questions, please do just message me. Like, my Instagram is a little bit chaos, but I do try my best to get through everything that comes in. So message me on my Instagram account at Tom D. Pearson. If you do want to work with us from a coaching standpoint, you can apply to work with us through the link in my bio. I'll also put it down below in the YouTube. On there, obviously, you can kind of come through the process. We can see for a good fit, how we can help you understand your goals in a bit more depth and take you through that. We've got the university dropping most likely January. And if you are a coach looking to move forward as well, we've got the agency. So guys, just get in touch. Instagram is going to be a great platform. I'll put all the links below here. And in the meantime, make sure you subscribe because we have got a stupidly good diary of videos coming very soon.